must pay for their broken promises and betrayals. If we just go on supporting them again this November, they will keep playing games with our future and taking our vote for granted. Don't vote this November. This is the only way to send them a clear message.
Politics can be creepy, ladies and gentlemen, but the Don't Vote ad put together by my next guest, obviously designed to suppress Latino voter turnout in the key battleground state of Nevada, I think that hits a new low. Robert de Posada is a GOP operative fronting an organization called Latinos for Reform, which created and placed the commercials encouraging Hispanics not to vote. Univision, the Spanish network, refused to run it. So, you know, Robert, don't you feel... I mean, that's sleazy. You put together an ad like that, you got to take a shower.
Let me correct you on several things. Number one, I haven't been a GOP operative in 20 years. Number two, Univision did run the ad.
Who paid for that? Who paid for that ad? Who paid for that ad?
A group of Hispanic businessmen.
One of the largest contribution was me. What Hispanic businessmen are that, Robert?
Me. I was one of them.
Yeah.
And we have Hispanic businessmen from Louisiana, Hispanic businessmen from around the country. That's not the case. I think you're focusing on the headlines,
and you're not focusing on... Do you realize how hard it is and how hard people have worked to get the right to vote for Latinos and to encourage them to vote? And here you're telling them not to vote, not to exercise their franchise because you want a certain candidate of a certain party to get elected? I mean, how do you look in the mirror in the morning, dude?
I look fine because look. The fact is that what we're telling you Latinos is you have to face the fact.
You don't feel embarrassed by that?
Listen, well, you don't feel embarrassed by that? Are you going to let me talk or not? The fact is that the Latino community is facing the fact that 2 years ago the Democratic Party came to them and offered them all kinds of promises.
So let them vote for the Republican.
Wait, no, that's the problem.
Let them vote for the independent.
We're facing a situation.
You tell them not to vote, and you know. Listen,
we're facing a situation where both parties have betrayed Latinos.
Manipulative, destructive person trying to reverse decades of civil rights struggle by people that you couldn't wear their shoes.
Why would we have to vote? Why we have to vote for the lesser of two evils? Why can't we offer the alternative?
You are a yellow-bellied, down and dirty punk. You're telling people not to vote? You're Latinos not to vote?
Look, you're basically reading the headlines and not looking at the substance because we've been very clear about the fact. The substance has been everywhere. We've been telling Latinos when you go vote, ignore the congressional election because the congressional election, when you're being offered the choice of lesser of two evils, you have a right to choose a third party to write your name.
Stop it right there. Alicia Menendez, what do you think?
I think he's full of crap, too. Listen, I think you and I both know, and I think, worst of all, Roberto knows that not voting doesn't shift power. It concedes power. And for anyone to suggest that Latino voters staying home sends a message knows exactly what they're doing. A Latino staying home is a de facto vote for Sharon Angle.
All right. Roberto, I'm finished with you. Thank you. Dana Loesch, you're a conservative. What's your comment on what you just heard?
Well, I'm curious as to whether or not a lot of the anger about it stems from the fact that the group wasn't entirely excited about Democrats. I mean, look, I'm not a particular party person. I'm neither Republican nor Democrat, but you have to look at historical accuracy in terms of what party has done the most to support what communities and what party has done a bigger disservice. Isn't that a different issue, Dana? Isn't that a different issue? Yeah.
You can look at the parties and their relative, performance on your issue, but to urge people not to exercise the franchise that has been so dearly won by giants is. We'll be right back. Well,
that assumes that people.
Got to take a break.